It's time for the grown man in you to grow the up and give yourself a chance to love, whatever that looks like.
Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Do you think that Shannon Sharpe needs to grow up? In fact, do you think Shannon Sharpe doesn't know who he is, where he's from, what he's been through, or why things happened a certain way? Make sure you comment your thoughts under this video because I'm very interested to know. Now, I have a more important question, and that question is, why do you think this conversation is happening on Shannon Sharpe's podcast? Make sure you join this conversation because I'm going to answer those questions and more. We're going to deep dive into this entire topic and conversation. So here we go. Before we do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Bertrand and I am the coolest dude on the planet. Confidence and clarity is the goal. So here we go.
Heart with you is you've accomplished so much in everything you've touched transactionally. It has turned to gold. All the way down to the gold jacket. But like the fig tree, you still haven't found yourself. All the way at the age of 60. And finding yourself takes the heart.
The mind replays what the heart can't delete.
Hello. And so you have been operating from such a mind space so that you don't have to even have a connection with the heart.
Catherine, I caught you once again cheating on me. All I want is my clothes and I will leave. May I please have my clothing items so I can get the hell out of the house?
I asked you to leave anyway.
I am leaving. Can I please have my clothes?
You can come back later.
No, I'm not coming back.
Well, then you can come
My
back.
clothes are right there.
That it has put you in such a deficit of self. And
Wait, a connection with the heart or connection with a woman who could potentially take advantage of him? Again, Shannon knows where he's from and what he's been through. So his trust in women is not very high. But let's continue.
that's what goes back to when I said a man who can procreate with multiple women without wanting to make sure that there is a foundational family there, he has a loss of self. And that man has an identity crisis. And there is a huge self-love deficit because a man who loves himself makes decisions that represent self-love. And everything that you have externalized is a direct reflection of you. The brokenness in the families you created, that's just the brokenness in you. How you can be successful transactionally, but your heart is over here, talking about, well, at what point am I going to get seen? And then what the little boy in you tells the heart is, didn't nobody want to see you when you was young. Wasn't nobody tripping off you then. So why do we think anybody is deserving, right? Or why do I think as a little boy that you're deserving of someone who would take your heart and really protect it and create a safe space? So it's easier for you to have transactional sex or have things that are convenient for you because that gives you control. And control is just insecurity, and security is just fear. And that's that little boy in you who is so afraid that if I can't touch and go with everything, I might end up touch and staying and might get stuck in a place that I don't know how to navigate. Let me say this again, not in a place that isn't safe, not in a place that isn't loving, but in a place that the little boy in you does not know how to navigate. It's time for the grown man in you to grow the up and give yourself a chance to love, whatever that looks like, and to gain a sense of self of who you really are at your heart space. Because transactional life isn't really legacy. It just isn't. It's nice on paper, but it's not legacy. The real wealth and the real legacy is what Dion has.
All right, we're going to try to do the impossible. My brother just got my mom from the stands because the senior night, we didn't know we had to walk. They're not going, they're like World War III trying to get them to walk together.
Back from Dallas, Texas, number 2, Shadur Sanders. And a safety, number 21, Shiloh Sanders. Joined by Dion Coach Brian Sanders. For all of our honorees playing in their final game at
And that's family. That's family. I'm not saying you don't.
Wait a minute. Did she just use Dion? Deion hates his ex-wife. The wife that he had the children with, he hates her so much. He doesn't want to be in pictures with her. He didn't celebrate his son's like they had some type of celebration. I don't know if it was like a championship game or if it was like just kind of celebrating who they were because they knew that they were about to move on to the NFL. He didn't want to be in pictures with her. He didn't want to be a part of the ceremony when he was the head coach. Think about that. That's who she's bringing up.
You don't have it with your girls. And I'm not saying it's too late to create it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I would like to offer that at some point, you do start to say, let me just dive into my heart by myself. Even if you're still doing your transactional stuff with women or whatever. I'm not saying stop, you grown. But start to just get a sense of self of like who you are at the heart space. Because that's our heart is who we are. Our mind is something that we have to have dominion over to control. But our heart is something we can't control because it's the authenticity of who we really are.
Transactional life is not legacy. That is beautiful. That is amazing. You know what? This woman has me sold. This woman is a poet that is posing as a doctor. This woman says things that sound so profound that it just makes me think, goodness gracious, this is an amazing mother right here. This is an amazing wife. Can you imagine having a wife that's so supportive? Can you imagine what her children must feel? Wait a minute. This woman is not a wife, and this woman is not a mother, and this woman is close to 50, meaning her chances of having children are not really there. Now, I say that because when I hear her speaking and talking about Shannon Sharpe and his situation, I'm wondering, do we know why this conversation is so important? Well, let's dive into that really, really quick. The reason why this conversation is so important is because of the huge mistake that Shannon Sharpe made.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
oh Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
This conversation is happening because of all of the money that he lost, all of the money that was given to this young girl. Now, a lot of people were mad because this was a white girl, and then other people were mad because this was a young white girl who is a OnlyFans girl, meaning she's making money like ladies of the night or strippers.
You want to see it good? You want to see it better than that?
Now, the majority of women are mad because they like, wait a minute, hold on. You finna give this woman millions? What about all the black women? Now, here's the issue. Here's the issue with that whole line of thinking. This man knows exactly who he is. He knows where he's from. He knows what he comes from, right? Because if you don't know who Shannon Sharpe is, here's just a really quick synopsis, right? Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Fame football player. He was a tight end. Now, when I seen him play, I thought he was actually a wide receiver, a big wide receiver at that. But I later learned that that is the position. Sometimes he blocks, sometimes he runs routes. Now, the reason I thought he was a receiver was because he was catching a lot of passes, running a lot of yards, making a lot of plays, scoring a lot of touchdowns. He was in Super Bowls. Why is this important? This is important because it shows the dedication that this man had. Shannon Sharpe chose his football career over women that he knew he couldn't trust. So when this woman is talking about insecurity and that insecurity turning into fear, well, it's warranted. It makes complete sense because if he were to look at his counterpart being Deion Sanders hates his ex-wife, the ex-wife that he had children with. That woman he despises, Meaning now, and you know what? Let me take that back. I don't know if he actually hates his ex-wife, but I can tell you he does not want anything to do with that woman. And a lot of men fall into that same thought process, especially when you go through the dating stage, the commitment stage, boyfriend and girlfriend, onto the marriage stage, having children stage, right? And then the divorce stage, where that woman shows you her ass. She shows you why she was there and what she really had going on in the background, right? And you find that out during divorce because she's keeping tabs that you didn't know she was keeping. She's keeping score when you didn't even know she was keeping score. She's recording things and holding on to things, meaning when she gets in court, she has a whole file on you and all you have is words and memories that you're trying to get across to the judge. Now, I'm not sure why she would use Deion Sanders because he has a pretty good relationship with Deion, and I know he knows way more about Deion's situation than the normal public knows. This is a way for Shannon Sharpe to take accountability for the humongous mistake that he made, plus all the money that he lost and sponsorships and all the deals that he was about to sign, right, to make even more money. This is his way of actually showing people, one, that he cares about his platform. Two, he cares about his image and the way that he's perceived. So this is his way of actually trying to clean that up, right? Because that puts a major stain on what this man has built. Now, if we're talking about legacy, why is legacy important and who is legacy important to? Legacy is usually important to the people that are inspired by that person, right? It's very rare that you have a family who upholds your legacy, right? Because everybody has their own interpretation or view or opinion on how they see their father, brother, sister, uncle, grandfather, right? Now, the reason why I'm saying they probably don't uphold it like that is because they see him as a regular person, whereas other people see him as a celebrity, see him as a Hall of Famer, see him as somebody that's famous, see him as somebody that's rich and wealthy, right? He's constantly being seen. So because he's constantly being seen, we have a lot of women that are fighting for validation in hopes that that validation turns into money. Now, let's be honest. The majority of us are broken in some way, shape, or fashion. The majority of us are not all put together. We may put on the act like we are, but the majority of us are working on ourselves or we're not. The reason I'm saying that is because that is literally the goal of my channel. Being able to see things clearly, make adjustments, adapt to what's going on, and believe that you can achieve or do anything you put your mind to. The reason why I'm reacting to this is because I get triggered when I hear a woman speak as if she's a mother and she has no children. The reason why is because I am a father, a single father at that, and I understand how children do certain things and how they perceive certain things because I have nieces and nephews. I'm also a basketball trainer and I talk to a whole bunch of children because that's just part of my business and it's part of who I am. So I understand how they see certain things. And I'm telling you this, there is no way to ensure that that kid has the life that they think that they should have. The life that the kid thinks that they should have, it probably doesn't match up to what the parent is wanting for that child to have because they're two different people. We see life different. As a parent, we see and we understand what has happened in the past, whereas the child is living in the future. They're living in the now. They're creating their past, not realizing that they're creating their past. They're literally just living in the moment and somewhat kind of sort of looking to the future. But as a parent, you've already been there. You've been to kindergarten, you've been to elementary, junior high, middle school, college. If you went that far, there's things you did after college, right? Now, your child they're still going through those steps. This woman doesn't have that type of knowledge or experience. So when I hear her speak, this is why I'm triggered. But I can tell you guys this, the people in the comments were eating this up. Oh my gosh, Shannon, you just found your wife. Oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, Shannon ain't trying to mess with this old woman. I'm calling her old because she's close to 50, right? I know Paul Pierce says she was 42, right? But I'm saying 42 is close to 50. Right? This woman doesn't have any children, and she's talking the way she speaks about her own dating life. You would think that she's a wife and a mother, or she's moving in that direction. Now, does Shannon Sharpe actually need to grow up? I would say this. Shannon Sharpe needs to make sure that he holds on to the little boy inside of him. In fact, all men need to hold on to the little boy inside of you. Why? Because that is your curiosity. That's where your imagination is. That's where your creative energy is. So that's something that you must keep with you. That's something that you have to hold on to, because if you lose that, that's when you really become grumpy and grouchy, and you're pretty much over life. In other words, you become like the Grinch. But you know what? I got a question for you. What do you think? Comment your thoughts under this video. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure that you like and subscribe for more confidence and clarity. Catch you on the next one. Peace.